Well, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Dave Fenoy here. Another Wednesday, another Ask Dave Fenoy Anything. And this is happening on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn. It's on X and YouTube. Now, if you're tuning in now, but you wanted to see something that we did a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a year ago, you can go to my YouTube channel, Dave Fenoy Voiceover Training, and they're all there. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button, okay? Great. If you're interested in voiceover coaching from me, davefenoy.com, click the Study VO tab, and it's not happening yet, but I'm about to have my holiday sale, so you can save your money on some of my wonderful coaching. And if you'd like to follow me on X, Dave Fenoy VO, at Dave Fenoy VO. All right. Before we get started, I was talking with my guests a little bit beforehand. It's my wife's birthday, so I'm going to cut out about 5-10 minutes early this evening so I can take her to dinner. And also, I was telling him about a gig I had at yesterday at Nickelodeon. And I'm not going to tell you what it was. I'm not going to tell you the part I played. But what I am going to tell you, it was very old school in a new school kind of way. Back in the day, back when I first started in this business, we used to have cartoon sessions where everybody was in the room. And you did it live. You did it in sequence. And you were bouncing off the energy of other people. And you're crazy in there. When you're not recording, you're vibing, you're joking, you're saying all kinds of things. There's Clementine behind me. You're saying all kinds of things that, hopefully nobody will record because we'd probably get canceled for them now. But it was just amazing. There were about 8 or 9 of us in the room, in the booth, and another 8 or 9 of us online through Zoom. And just a whole lot of fun. And those are the kinds of things in this business that just make you go, oh, yeah, this is so much, the camaraderie. I can only hope that in your careers, you get to have those kinds of experiences. Okay, well, enough of that. And let's meet our guests. And there they are. Well, Jim Fronk, how'd your well, we'll just lose that there. Jim Fronk, Grace Newton, Terry Bricoe, they are starting, and it's tomorrow night, right? You guys, you can chime in here.
We launch tomorrow, yep.
You launch tomorrow, the Microphone Insider. What time?
8 p.m. Eastern.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to tune in.
Oh, nice. So it's 5 p.m. for you, Dave.
5 p.m. for me. Oh,
Gotta help you that time zone math.
I'll have to leave a little bit early. Oh, no, you only last an hour, right?
Yep. If okay, that, yeah.
No, I'll be good. I'll be good. I go to the gym. I'm working out at 7 o'clock, so I don't know if I can, stay for I'll stay for the whole thing.
Hey, question for you, Dave. Should I be able to see you guys?
You cannot see them?
No.
Nope. But you can see me.
I just see you, Dave.
Well, who cares? What else do you need to see?
Okay, that's fine.
Well, if you're, that's interesting because I've never had this many guests before. So I am just learning that that's the case. But actually, what you're seeing right in the middle is your logo, the Microphone Insider. And I'm in one corner at the top. You're in the other corner at the top. Grace is in one corner at the bottom, and Terry's in the other corner at the bottom. So
good to know.
So let's talk about the Microphone Insider, and I also want to know, how did you guys get the name, the VO Trio? Who came up with that? Jim.
I feel like Jim did. Mm-hmm.
I think I came up with that one. Yeah,
that one is Jim.
We bounce a lot of ideas off of each other, and it's always a vote, and it's always, how about this, and tweaking here and tweaking there. But yeah, we're pretty happy with it. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and it usually comes down to whatever Grace says anyhow, so it just works out that way. Terry says blue, I say red. Grace decides what she wants.
Okay, so
she says green.
I want to know how you came up with this idea and why the 3 of you. What brought you three people together?
Let me start.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like this is kind of meant to be. So we're all in a overall larger group where we all met because of a coach. So I met Grace first. Grace came in first, and I met her the same exact way that I met Jim, which is why I feel like this is kind of destined to be. I saw that she was a guest in something such as this, and she made a comment, and then my comment to her was, "It's always better when Grace is in the place." And then
Oh,
her response was,
you being, yeah,
right? See what you did there. And then Jim and I were in a video game together, and his character happened to be named Ton, and my character was named Back. So we were posting individual advertisements about our characters, and he said, "I always got your back." And then I was like, "Thanks a ton." And then his response was, "Did we just become best friends?" And I was like, so since then,
and I got to tell you, Dave, there are very few people that I spend time on the phone or on a Zoom call with. You're one of them now, and Terry is basically, as far as just sitting there talking about nothing. I'd rather not sometimes, but yeah, and Grace just. From day one, she was like I call her my VO Zen. She just kind of grounded me. And I said, if I ever do a podcast again or a radio show, you're my co-host, because she just has that. Well, also, she's really good at secretarial stuff. No offense, none taken, I hope. But she keeps everything in order. She keeps notes.
You're
and
walking that
on
line.
everything. She is on. I don't mean secretarial, but she is just organized, and she just keeps us in line as well. So it works out well. And then she goes crazy sometimes, which is even more fun. So check us out at a conference together.
Well, of course she goes crazy sometimes. The two of you are bad influences. So Grace, what's your story? I say we got Terry's, we got Jim's. How'd this thing really get started? Because I know I can believe you.
Right. Right. Terry, I'd have to go with Terry there, though. It happened very organically. We just all came together, and it's just the right mix of everything. Everyone's little, what's the word am I looking for?
Everyone brings something to the table. Everyone brings a different
idiosyncrasies.
ingredient. Yeah.
Everyone's idiosyncrasies. Just we can actually tolerate each other, which is great.
And sometimes that's exactly what it takes. Already getting some comments here. Phil Doan, very excited about the new podcast.
Hi,
And
Phil.
Juliet, love the name. Oh, and from Mike Cunningham, you know a little more than you should, Mike. Jim is a bad seed.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, without a doubt.
Oh,
I am the person that you need to watch out for with a live microphone, and for some reason they put me in charge of all the controls, Dave. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow night. It's going to be epic either way.
So now, who's your first guest?
Liz Atherton.
Oh boy, I've had her on. She is wonderful. Not only fun, but of a lot of information. And speaking of, what you guys do, you said news, knowledge, and nonsense?
A whole lot of nonsense. Yeah, pretty much. We try to sprinkle in some fun, but we definitely want to get the word out that this whole Facebook group started when Grace had an idea of starting something that we can all be adults in and not be monitored, and police ourselves and post information that would stay up and not be taken down because of an administrator's own agenda.
I'm sorry, that's not appropriate.
Yes. Well, that's where the Microphone Insider name came from, because it's a play on TMI, too much information.
Ah. So it's working on different levels.
It really is. When you join us, we're going to have some questions for you, and I'm not going to give it away, but there's going to be a TMI bonus question for each of our special guests.
Oh, okay. Now, so give me an example of what one of those TMI questions might be.
Very easy. All you have to do is tune in tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, on the Facebook group channel. Hey, I'm not giving it away this time, Dave. I'm keeping it for myself for right now. I'm going to keep it in the group and release the hounds when it's time.
Okay, well,
And
I just
we don't even know if we're going to inform the guest what the question is going to be yet. It's
Oh,
kind of
no,
a
we're
case
not.
by case
Oh, no.
basis.
Oh, no. We should vote on
Yeah,
this
we're
now.
totally
Terry,
not going to tell the guest the surprise question.
well,
I agree.
it's
Yeah.
interesting. I know with my show, what I tell people is, look, no fuss, no muss. Let me have your bio. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to search some things about you on the internet, and then we'll just talk. And I don't tell them what I'm going to ask them or not ask them, and we just go. And one of the best things, I learned things about so many of these people who have been friends of mine for decades that I didn't know, because you don't interview your friends when you're hanging out with them. I haven't had him on yet, but Townsend Coleman, buddy of mine, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was one of the promo voices for NBC for years. Great guy, great career. We had been in several cartoons together. And one day we were talking several years after the cartoons were over, and we were someplace breaking bread with some people. And it came out we were both born and bred and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. And we went to competing private schools. We were both on the football team. And basically, when I was playing against his school, we kicked their butts.
Wow.
But we knew each other maybe 15, 20 years before we knew we were both from Cleveland. Now, I have a feeling that if he were, if it had been two women, they would have known everything. It's us guys that don't answer those questions.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm a firm believer of zero prep. Let's just crack the mics and see what happens and wing it.
Well, okay.
I mean, we've all taken improv from the same coach, in fact.
Yes, and we're just going to go with the yes and theory. We have some pre bits put together, not really bits, but segments put together. For instance, Grace is going to do a segment on health, and we're going to have some conference news.
Mental health and
mental health.
self-care. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's
Why don't you
I
explain it, 'cause
agree
you
with
know
health,
more.
but yes, it's all health. Yes.
So, well, you've obviously been working at. Tell me what your thoughts are about the mental health of voice actors. Sometimes I think you should be a little crazy to do this, but how can we stay just a little bit sane?
I mean, go to a therapist, for the love of God.
But that costs money.
Go to a professional. Go to a
no way to do
professional.
my own research.
Oh, you can totally do your own research. I think knowing's half the battle. Researching what your symptoms are and seeing, not WebMD though, please. Don't go on WebMD. You will have 37 different diseases and illnesses. And I think everyone knows that by now. But yeah.
Listen, Grace, while I have you on the big screen there, how'd you get started in voiceover, and what are the kinds of things you do mostly?
Well, I was a chef for 14 years and I got injured. So
you cut yourself?
No. No, I didn't get
yourself.
injured unfortunately, I didn't get injured on the job. I was rear-ended twice in 1 year in a parked car by someone who was on their phone. So you don't want to see me when I'm in traffic and I see someone on their phone. Anyway,
and she knows Krav Maga too, and she's very versed in all kinds of weaponry. Just throwing it out there.
That is true as well.
Just
But
throwing that out there.
I didn't know 14 years, that was my career. I didn't really, that was my skill set, and I was like, what? So I came across on Facebook, there's an ad for a school, a voice acting school, and I applied and got in. And
what made that, because you see ads for stuff all the time that, I've never done that, not interested in that, blah, blah, blah. What made you interested in voiceover?
Well, it had to be something that wasn't physically taxing. At least as physically taxing as chef work. And I can do it sitting up, sitting down, or standing up. That was kind of key.
Not to
But
mention she's a very
I
talented singer too, so she has some vocal skills as it is.
right. I grew up, I like any other little girl, I guess, watching the Disney movie Sleeping Beauty, and I was mimicking their singing, and Paige O'Hara and Jodie Benson are my idols. Like, Paige O'Hara is the voice of Belle and Jodie is Ariel. But yeah, I thought singing, and I can use this.
Yeah. So what kind of work have you been doing?
The most fun that I've had is actually dubbing work.
Ah,
Have you
big
ever
business
done any
now.
of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Big
Oh,
business.
it's so fun. I can't really talk about it, but I'm doing a Hindi animation
Oh, it's
into
very good. I
English.
would like to see that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. And my first paid gig was a jingle. I sing,
Singing. Ah.
and I've done a couple since. And I am currently delving into the world of audiobooks, so I'm excited to explore more about that genre. My mentor for that, by the way, shout out to Byron Wagner.
Hey,
Ah,
Byron, how
Love
are you?
you.
Well, let's see. Let's talk with Terry here because Jim, I talk to you all the time. Terry, how did you get started in this business? What are the kinds of things you're doing, and what brought you into voiceover?
The pandemic brought me into voiceover, like many others, but it was something that I always wanted to do growing up. Um, but never really would have ever stepped out there because, I like to keep the bills paid and I like to know when my checks are coming. So I just never actually stepped out there and did it, right? When the pandemic came, what else were you going to do? I do medical transportation and people were not going to medical facilities.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah. So I needed to find a new avenue to try to like, okay, how can I fortify myself so that this will never ever be able to happen again?
Yeah. Now, were you one of those people that people say, "Wow, you got a really nice voice. You should do voiceover"?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I've sounded like this since I was like 12. So they- people have been telling me that like basically my entire life. And I used to sing also. So that's something that just, comes along with the territory.
And what are the kinds of things you're doing?
I have done 8 different areas of voiceover at this point. So, but mostly commercial work. I've done 3 audiobooks. I've done some things that I'm still under NDA on, a couple video games. No animation work yet though. So casting directors, I'm here. I'm waiting. Just hit me, I'm out here.
Now, Terry, you're located where?
I'm in Clarksburg, Maryland, which is about 20 minutes outside of DC.
Yeah. I think one of the things that happens with certain genres, used to be almost all of them. You had to be in New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, and mostly New York, LA. And even more so LA for animation. The internet has changed that, so it'll come to you. It'll come to you. Um, let's see. Oh, there, Mr. Fronk. Now, you and I have similar background. You came out of radio.
right.
Yeah. Now, and because I've had you on recently, I'm not going to ask you the same questions I asked them. But let's talk a little bit about, you guys were all together at MAVO, right?
2 of us were.
To
Terry and I were at they're correct.
I was absent, and apparently they lost money on bets thinking that I would crash the conference.
She has a reputation of just
Sorry.
showing up places, so
We were hoping.
So, kind of throwing this out for everybody now. Why MAVO? And I'm saying this as somebody who's been to MAVO. I was a keynote speaker 1 year at MAVO.
that was the first year, actually, I think, wasn't
That
it?
was the first year.
Yeah. And I have to. I don't like correcting the great Dave Fenoy, but if Val Kelly's watching, she would get mad at me if I didn't. It's MAVO.
MAVO.
MAVO. Yeah. I know. I come on the show and I have to correct things. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
What's in that bottle?
Nothing strong enough, Jim.
Strong water.
Yeah.
Jim, you won't be the first person to correct me. And
Today.
after all, I am a married man.
Good point.
So, MAVO, it was a nice little boutique conference then. And I actually worried at the time, was it going to be able to continue? Because I was used to like VO Atlanta and so forth. And this was much, much smaller. And I didn't realize at the time until afterwards that this was by design.
Yes, actually, it's still very boutique-y, which is really cool because you can have breakfast with Dave Fenoy, for instance, or JMC or Joe Cipriano, who was just there this past one. You could very easily walk up to these guys like very organically, as opposed to when the presenters get swarmed by a crowd of people that want to say hi, get their card to them. There's 1,000 people or even 500 people. MAVO, I think we had 120, 130 some odd participants, which made everything very, very easy and relatable, and everybody was so approachable. It was actually my very first conference that I ever went to last year. Mm-hmm. And this year I was presenting my website creation class for the first time at this conference as well. So kind of came full circle.
And just to give you a plug, my new spanking shining website, Jim put together and helped me learn how to run it and add things and do things. He's still helping me because when it comes to high tech, I'm running as fast as I can to keep from falling too far behind.
But I got to say, Dave, you I don't want to come off sounding disrespectful, but you surprised me with how you picked it up so quickly and just started adding events and doing your own thing. And every now and then I'll pop in and just check in on you without you knowing. But everything looks great.
Yeah, so. Got to take away that administration. Thing
yeah. It's the co-owner part that'll kill you.
Let's see.
Actually, Terry and I met for the very first time face to face at MAVO last year. He showed up. We shook. We hugged. I said, "Hey, give me your car keys." He hopped on a plane. I took his car. It was great.
It really happened.
True story. Yeah.
True story.
True story. I love that. Let's see what some people are. Wait a minute. How are you there and here? It says Jim Fronk.
Come on, Dave. You've heard of voice tracking, right? Come on.
We've got. Just surprised the hell out of me. Okay, let's see. What some folks are saying. DF Raisin, definitely going to be tuning in tomorrow. I hope you will. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Love this, Phil. Wow, it will be packed full of lisdom.
Yeah.
See what he did there?
Take that and not give you credit. We're taking that. We're not giving you credit, Phil. Just letting you know now. Thank you.
Late. Everybody knows now. Mike Cunningham says, I was there for that bet, LOA. Yeah. Oh, you lost the money, Grace. You lost the money.
Yeah.
Hey, Theo Mezzacapo. Hey, Dave. Hey, Grace. Hey, Terry. Hey, Jim. You just should have said, hey, guys. There, Theo. And everyone, sorry I'm late. And by the way, if you're late, it's okay because you can always tune back in on my YouTube channel, Ask Dave or Dave Fenoy Voiceover Training, and hear all of them.
Wait, we're live now?
We're live now, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, welcome to the show.
Let's see. I got a comment here. Terry's beard game is on point.
Oh, I'm trying to catch up.
What?
Trying to catch up.
True story.
Grace can't grow one, but how do you?
Oh, but
Beyonce did.
Randy has an A+ beard.
What's that?
I said her fiance Randy has an A+ beard.
Ah, I saw the picture. So MAVO was great. Grace, what did? Oh, you weren't there. Terry, what did you participate in there?
I went for the Friday session this year only, but I went specifically because Karen Gilfrey was doing the in-show narration class, and that is something that I'm very, very, very interested in doing, and it was absolutely amazing.
Now, let's. When she said in-show narration, what kinds of shows was she talking about?
Well, first off, you have to start off with the murder shows, don't you?
Oh, murder porn. Oh, love it. Yeah.
Right?
Which haven't always been a thing. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to say there are so many opportunities now in narration for shows. But go ahead.
Yeah, so there was like murder shows, obviously National Geographic type shows, nature shows. There are kids nature shows, so an entirely different vibe. I mean, there were so many different types of like Dateline type stuff where it's not necessarily murder but big time stories. I mean, it seemed like it was just an unlimited source of the style of shows that there were. So much work. Yeah.
You know, there's more work now for voice actors than there's ever been. I know when I stepped into the business here in 1990 in Los Angeles, you thought commercials, you thought narration, not that much narration though. Commercials, for sure. Did I say that? Animation, video games did not exist, and TV promos. And initially I was coming for the commercials and TV promos and animation, and then video games showed up. But we're in a world now. In a world, yeah, absolutely.
Someone had to say it.
Yeah. We're in a world now where the doors are open for all kinds of voiceover. Let me ask you this: when you think of voiceover, what do you think you should make? I'm just throwing that out there.
You mean monetarily?
Monetarily, what do you think most people expect to make when they knock on the door in voiceover? I'm not saying what you're making, but what do you think the expectation is?
Everyone expects to be a millionaire their first.
Yeah, I think the expectation is, when you first start out, I think the expectation is fairly high. They think they're gonna. Well, you know the story.
What's the lesson they learn?
Oh no! Have a lot of capital to start, and 3 years to book your first gig. That's my advice to anyone who asks me, because it's very real. It's very realistic.
Mine is find a spouse in the pharmaceutical business to finance your ventures. Yes.
Yeah, but see,
it's a good plan, Jim. It's a good plan.
You're such a good-looking, studly guy. That's not all of us can do that.
You're right, Dave. Not all of us can pull it off. Terry, good luck, man.
Terry, when you got into business, what were you thinking? Did you think it would happen overnight?
100%. Of course I did. But then I got my first coaching session, and my coach let me know immediately that was not a thing that was going to happen.
Yeah. It's funny. I think back when I got into business, I kind of thought the same thing. My goal was to be the next Don LaFontaine or be a Don LaFontaine. And I've done really well, but I don't think anybody's done that well. I'm not sure we will ever have another Don who was pulling down $30,000, $40,000 a day. But let's see. Got a comment here from Kelsey V. Kelsey V, yep, you get your first well-paying job. It's going to be like this forever. Famous last words. And I can say from experience, having been doing this since 1990 here, there are ups and downs. There are times you are riding so high and everything just seems great. Bow. And
nice.
Then
nice.
A gig or those gigs go away. and you either have to reinvent yourself or do some of the same things you did when you started your career to get back, or be very fortunate, all of which I think has happened to me. Well, John, hoping for supplemental income. Not all of us can.
Is that John J. Petit?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, geez, yeah. John used to work at one of the radio stations that I worked with, Rock 101 in Manchester, New Hampshire. Yeah. He's still doing radio. I got out of it, obviously. And of course, when I left radio, I was like, voiceover. I'm going to make millions the first year. Are you kidding me? I'm going to hit the scene and everyone's going to love me. And here I am. And wow, what a reality.
So when you first started knocking on the voiceover door coming out of radio, what did they say to you?
Well, you got to lose that voice, son. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. I mean, I was just, I had the radio thing going. It was just, as soon as I started slipping back into that radio read, my coach would say, and next up is the doobies. And I was like, okay, great, Tim. I understand. Fine. We'll just slide it back a little bit. But I've been working with Cliff Zellman on automotive actually my automotive demo just dropped today. I'm very excited about that. He's just getting me the final revisions. It's probably in my email now. But here I am going back to that radio read. You know, it's like Kia of Las Cruces is having a sell-a-thon. Yeah, everything's back to where it was before. So tens of thousands of dollars to learn how not to talk like radio, and here I am back at it again.
Can I just say this? I work with a lot of people who came out of radio, and they're trying to learn how to not to do the radio thing. And what I say to people now is, I don't want you to not be able to do that. I want you to be able to do something else.
Turn it on and off.
Turn it on and off. I still make a lot of money doing that hard sell that you learn to do in radio. And it's not going away. It's not the most popular read in the world now. But for a lot of things, it's exactly what they're looking for.
And the soft sell's coming back. It's starting to trend back from what I'm hearing from people who watch the trends. So I'm kind of excited about that, actually.
Yeah. Terry, when you started taking classes, what did your coaches tell you?
They told me that they thought that I had a great voice, but that there were techniques that I didn't know anything about engineering. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't come from radio. I actually did come from a radio background, but not on air. I was promotions. So I literally had to learn from the ground up, which I guess in a way is good because you learn all the good habits in voiceover instead of having to lose some of the bad habits. But they were like, you to do this, and this, and this. And in order for you to like do commercial, for instance, I would have to lose some of the. I have a natural announcery kind of sounding voice, so I did have to learn to train that out a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you something. Most people that come with a voice, they're leaning into their voice. Mm-hmm. They're trying to say, "Oh, my voice sounds so wonderful," and once you get past that, you can probably do okay. So Grace, you were a chef. You got injured. You couldn't cut up meat anymore, or scream at your sous chef anymore. What?
Two of my favorite things.
When you got in, what were your coaches telling you?
Oh gosh. Well, my first coach showed up drunk to all of my sessions. He was coaching me from Dusseldorf, Germany, and it was 11 o'clock his time. I'm praying I was his last student of the day. It was 4 p.m. my time. So not a whole lot. But
how long did you stay with that coach?
8-hour, grueling hour-long sessions.
Ooh. That you paid for in advance, so of course you.
Of course. And then they had me cut my demo. Yay! But I went out on my own.
How was that demo?
Oh, not good. If it were physical, it would be a coaster. Not good. So I went out on my own, did a bunch of research, and found my first real coach. And actually, it was Jim and Terry's first coach, too. Tim Powers.
Oh,
Shout
okay.
out to Tim. We love you.
Tim, I don't know you, but you're getting a shout out, so shout out.
Yeah, I told you to have him on for improv. He does. He's our improv coach as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
He's cool. Yeah.
he's based where?
He's upstate New York right now.
Upstate New York. I think he's from St. Louis. Yeah.
But he's an LA. He's a St. Louis guy that went to LA, did the whole stand-up comedy. He's a radio guy as well. Did a lot of improv out there. When the pandemic hit, he moved to Rochester, and he's dying to go back to LA.
Mm-hmm.
But like they tell you in so many of those red states, it's terrible here. People are leaving in droves, and homeless people are everywhere, and nobody's got any money, and it just costs too much to live. And I love it here. I just love it. So on this, who are your other guests besides me?
Oh, geez. You want to take this one? Terry, go ahead. Roll down the list if you want.
We are booked through April for guests.
Run it off, Jim.
All right, here we go. We've got Liz Atherton. After that, the week after, it's every other week, every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday. Okay.
Right, every other Thursday for now. Soon to be a 5-day a week show. The networks. But as of right now, it's every other Thursday. We have Liz Atherton, and then we have I don't know if you heard of this guy. He does like the Lexus commercials and Time Life, and I guess he's winning some kind of legacy award this year. Dave Fanoy. Dave Fanoy.
You have no idea how close you are to how people try to pronounce my name. Is it Flip?
The name like Fronk, how do you expect? Yeah.
Really?
And after that, we have Brad Hyland's going to come in and talk about working on the pay-to-plays. Then after that'll be the last Thursday of the year. We have Tim Freelander and Karen Gilfrey from NAVA to give us a recap of this first year. By the way, happy birthday. I know that you're part of the board, Dave. You guys just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of NAVA, so thank you and all that you guys do. And he's going to give us a little look into what's on the horizon with NAVA for 2024, kind of a year in review and what's happening. After that,
are you all NAVA members now?
Yeah, Terry finally joined.
Yeah,
finally.
He's official.
Yeah, I'm SAG-AFTRA, and it's SAG-AFTRA is a union for actors of all kinds. NAVA is just for us. It's just for we as voice actors. It's not really a union.
National Association of Voice Actors.
Yeah. But I think it's one of the best things to happen in the last year or so. In the last year, because it's a year old.
Exactly.
Providing opportunities for health insurance. That is affordable for voice actors who may not be in the union, or if they are in the union, aren't making enough money to qualify, and so many information programs.
It's amazing how much they've accomplished in just 1 year. It's like they've been here forever.
Yeah.
It's really kind of cool.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And we're going to kick off the new year, January 11th, with Kristen Paiva. Casting director, animation vocal coach, and dialogue director,
who has worked for Disney for years.
She's leaving. Actually, we're going to be launching her new website that I've been working on with her. Probably end of this week, beginning of next week, tops. So she's very excited about that. Then we have Daniel Ross, Emmy award-winning voice of Donald Duck. We also have, who else we have coming in, guys? Jeez, we have Tina Marasco.
He was an amazing guest. And anytime Tina is on a show someplace and you want to voice over, you want to.
Yeah. JMC. Forgot about JMC. He's coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that guy. And we also have Bridget Rial or Riale. I'll have to find out how to pronounce her last name, but Bridget's going to join us. And that's actually Thursday of VO Atlanta. So
Oh,
we might be doing the
wait.
show live.
Barbie
Mhm.
is here. The voice of
Barbie's
Barbie
here?
for years and years and years. Chris
Oh,
hands down. Great show as
so
always.
cool.
She is such a sweetheart. Just love
And
her.
she's here now?
She's there now. She's just saying
Oh,
great show as always. Oh
hi,
boy.
Ooh.
Barbie. Nice to
Very
And
meet you.
cool.
one of my buddies from college, Mike Smith, great percussionist. He's MAVO or NAVO.
This was MAVO.
Yeah,
Evo.
he doesn't
Him.
know what we're talking about. I just put him
MAVO,
on
Nava, and
because
then
he's
we
a
had
good buddy of
Devo.
mine. Let's see. Kelsey V. So thankful for the healthcare plans. I'm not in Nava yet, but hopefully soon. There you go,
Yeah,
Kelsey.
Join us.
Join us, yes. Hey,
Mike Cunningham always has something interesting. I heard the legendary Mike Cunningham is going to make an appearance at some point.
Nope. We voted on it. The answer was no. Sorry, bud.
There-
But I do see that he asked a question, will there be viewer participation on TMI? And yes, we are actually using the same platform as Dave has here. And we are going to take that Facebook interaction with our show as well. And I know, Dave, you have to get going soon for Mo's birthday, and I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on a couple of points of the show tomorrow.
okay. Go for
Number
it.
one, we're speaking about mental health and all that. Grace also posts every Monday on our Facebook group, the Microphone Insider, which you can join. Anybody can join. Just sign up. And she posts every Monday, Mental Health Monday. She posts an article relevant to what's happening. So I'm very proud of her for that. She came up with the whole idea. At first, I was like, mental health. I want to keep things light and have fun, but God, it makes so much sense because that's what we do. You know, it's how we all live it. It seems, rejection all the time. We haven't talked about Terry's segment at all. We're still trying to come up with a jingle for it, but basically, if Terry can make it, you can too. He's going to have a pretty much. I mean, I think Terry's leaning towards cakes and steaks, cocktails too. If Terry can make it, you can too. So, so he's going to come up with a recipe for us every week. Might be a cocktail, might be dessert. We have some pictures of him making it, and we'll post the recipe card there as well. So we try to lighten things up just a bit.
What I find amazing is he's doing the recipes, but Grace was the chef.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Can you give him any tips, Grace?
I'm in the background for advice if he needs it, but he's got it covered.
Now
Terry's like Rachel Ray. I mean, he's not a chef, but he's a great cook.
Yeah.
And and for lack of a better term, he can dumb things down for people like me. Grace is a chef.
Only one thing is going to be missing, and that is the taste test. So you guys are all in different places, so nobody's going to go and have that look of oh, delicious.
Yeah, that was by design, Dave. Hello, come on. Just because Terry can make it doesn't mean you want to eat it. I mean,
there you go. And I think I'm beginning to see the nonsense.
There you go.
Beginning?
Not even the tip of the iceberg.
Nothing yet.
None of us started drinking yet, so hold on.
Oh boy. Hey, is there any chance we're going to get to see cricket today?
He is such an adolescent right now. He's over a year old, so some days he'll sleep all day, and other days he'll want to play with me till 10 o'clock. And today is one of those days where I tried to keep him up for a while, and he just said nope, and he went into his little.
For those of you who don't know, Jim has a lizard. What kind of lizard is he?
It is a bearded dragon. He's the VO lizard, I call him. Yeah.
And he is the coolest little lizard. He has personality. He has a will of his own. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm going to sleep on your shoulder. No, I'm gonna go over here and play with your keyboard for a little while. It's working with Jim, working on the website and some other things that we've talked about. I've gotten a chance to get to know cricket And he's very special.
You know, I got to tell you, Tina Marasco loves cricket. She doesn't even email me anymore. She's like, "Hey, cricket, tell Jim we have a session on Tuesday." It's like, seriously? Hey, before we go to, I can see the chat coming up here, and I see John Petit had a question about Nava. Should newbies join Nava? Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Start now.
One of the things I just want to say, because we get a lot of people who are just getting into voiceover, maybe been in for just a little while. This is a very lonely business in so many ways. Very different than it used to be. I used to have to go to my agents to audition. When you worked, you went someplace else. You ran into people all the time. But now, the nature of the business is you have to have a home studio. And you're going to be spending a lot of time at home in your home studio. And we're missing that physical touch. I mean, it really smacked us during the pandemic. But it's not going to change. A lot of pro studios have closed down. There are not as many as there used to be. And I see all the time in the auditions, prefer somebody with a home studio because they don't want to pay necessarily for that pro studio. And the pro studios are, well, they specialize in video games or they specialize in cartoons or so you're going to have a pro studio. One of the things you mentioned, Terry, was the learning curve you had to have. I didn't have to have that learning curve. I didn't need a studio when I started. Everybody needs a studio now. And I know one of the things you guys are going to be doing with the Microphone Insider, and one of the things I like to do with this show is from time to time, bring on the people who can help you put that studio together, discover the best practices. People get so lost trying to do it all by themselves. What microphone to use, what interface to get. Am I a Mac person or am I a PC person? What's the DAW that I should use? And I just know that so much of what you guys are going to be doing is helping people come along with that information and not make it seem so daunting. Having a career in voiceover is eating an elephant, and you got to do it one bite at a time.
Hey, Grace, make a note, please. Now we have to start booking techie people because Dave Fennoy just called us out. Appreciate it.
I'm going to volunteer Uncle Roy. Come on.
Of course we are.
And George, of course.
George, Tech.
Jordan. You've got Jordan. You've got Tim.
Jordan, yes, definitely.
You've got a family of people out here. To talk to. And one of the
Mike Nelson too has been working with Uncle Roy at all the conferences. Yeah.
There we go. Well, listen, I'm going to, I think my wife.
Yeah, you're going to go. Yeah.
This is just a treat and just fun. And I'm going to be checking you guys out tomorrow. It's on the platform through, the Microphone Insider Facebook, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct. And listen, no matter what happens tomorrow night, you are bound by contract to be with us on 2 Thursdays. We're just telling you right now. There's no getting out of it.
I call my agent. Listen, I got to get out of this contract I have with the Microphone Insider. These guys are crazy.
I'm going to send Grace to take care of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all of that. Well, listen, everybody. Apologies for bailing out early, but it is for the very best reason, taking my lovely wife out to dinner for her birthday. I want to thank you guys for joining me. This has just been a delight.
Thank you for having us. It was so much fun.
Lovely seeing you every week on Ask Dave Fennoy Anything. Better having you on with these reprobates.
I gotta look that up. Hold on a second. Was that a compliment or was that a dig?
Look it up.
Where's
Jim. Look it
up.
Terry, good to see you. Jim, as always. And
yes,
I guess we will wrap that up. And wow, just a whole lot of fun with the VO Trio. And tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific. The Microphone Insider, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And thank God.
Or hate it. One of the two. There's no gray area here.
Or love
it's going
to
to be a
hate
love
it.
or hate situation.
Or maybe hate to love it.
Wow.
Oh.
We'll have to change the T-shirts now, Terry.
There you go. There you go. All right. This and all the other Ask Dave Fennoy anythings live on my YouTube channel, Dave Fennoy Voiceover Training. You want to X at me or tweet at me at Dave Fennoy VO. If you're interested in voiceover coaching, davefennoy.com. And coming up in the next few days, there's going to be a sale, a holiday sale on voiceover coaching. So don't do it today. You want to sign up for some lessons, do it about Friday. I think I'll have it up by then. In the meantime and in between time, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. Book something.
Book something.
There you go. Bye, everybody.
Good night.